Hey everybody, I think we are live. We should be close if we're not. Always want to wait to see if it's up on my page. Make sure I'm not talking to the air. Hey, there we go. I guess I kind of am. But I hope you're listening. Um, so one thing I'm not really good at is keeping up with like I don't have a whole newsroom behind me, so I don't know what bridges are closed. I did hear from a friend that it seems like they were perhaps closing down the bridge by Bulow to get from Alexandria to Pineville. And they were going to, hopefully temporarily do that while they did some treatment of the roadway. But what I'm here to do is tell you about the weather end of things. And first off, I need to go into the show here and show you a bunch of naughty folks that are still out on the roadways here. We got a lot of people out here. It looked a little worse a few minutes ago, but still seeing all these cars out there. I'm not a huge fan of this. Boyce Bridge is closed, yeah. I'd imagine we're going to see a lot more of these closed. But it's 24 degrees. See that? 24 degrees. So we are 8 degrees below freezing. This is not some marginal setup where we're wondering if we're going to see this stuff freeze when it makes contact. It is freezing, and you really, really want to get home if possible, and you want to take it so super slow over bridges or overpasses or any elevated roadways. I can't rule out ice, building up on the surface streets when it's this cold, because we have sleet falling and mixing with the freezing rain. So that's going to help to kind of make a little slush, and then it freezes. It's just not good for anyone. So let's take a look and see what we have here on our radar. The precipitation algorithm got a little weird earlier and was showing snow. I'm not a fan of these algorithms. If they're mine or anybody else's, they just typically don't take into account everything they need to. And while I've seen some reliable video of snow out here in southeast Texas, it definitely is not widespread. I could see some of these heavier echoes. I could see there being some snow mixing in, but mainly freezing rain and sleet. If you see those ice pellets, that's sleet, not snow. But looking at radar right now, that first batch came through Alexandria. We've had a lot more going on off to the north, and even down toward Lake Charles, Jennings, I-10, we have this sleet and freezing rain, mostly freezing rain down that way. But this little pocket right here, I'm going to go ahead and just pause that for a second. This right here, that is probably going to be some light to moderate freezing rain mixed with sleet. This is going to cause whatever hasn't iced over to ice over. So it looks like we have a little break on radar moving toward Alexandria, Pineville, Boyce, right overhead pretty much. It's still coming down lightly outside at my house, but it's not as heavy as it was like 5 minutes ago. So as this one exits, this one looks heavier. So we just saw a decent burst of freezing rain and sleet in most areas. We're going to see more. There's stuff going on up here in Natchitoches. Looks pretty solid as well, moving in toward Winfield. And there's this batch down here. There's more forming out here. Remember, we're talking like 2, I think until about 8 in Alexandria. So we're in the first hour now, and then perhaps lasting until about 10 o'clock as you head down to the southeast into St. Landry, Evangeline, and Avoyelles Parish. So, it's upon us. This is what we were expecting to happen. I thought we'd have a little bit more this morning, but this was kind of our main time to watch, and it's all happening now. So I'll put things back in motion. And everything is freezing rain and sleet from what I'm seeing. Some snow way up to the north. I'll zoom out a little bit. This is the Fort Polk radar, if you're curious, or the Fort Johnson radar. I see POE. It just goes back to Fort Polk. Okay. This is the Shreveport radar. And you can see getting those heavier elements. Now, why that's interesting to see this down here on the Shreveport radar, that means this is deeper. So we're further away here. Fort Johnson radar right there, Shreveport radar up here. So when I'm down here and I'm seeing these elements on radar, that's about 12,000 feet up. So that's maybe why they are seeing a few snowflakes making it down. It's possible in southeast Texas we've eroded that warm layer just enough, and we've gotten to where snowflakes can develop. It's not a great setup for it, and I think sleet and freezing rain are your main thing, but seeing these right here on the Shreveport radar, that's about 9,000 feet up, so we're getting those deeper echoes on radar showing up in our area. There's still stuff going up here around Shreveport, light freezing rain, sleet, and perhaps some snowfall all the way over through Monroe, Tallulah, and right into Mississippi. It is not a good day to be traveling, and I want to take a look at the Lake Charles radar as well, and it's not snowing there. That's it's just not right. Not a fan. But we do have these mixed precipitation echoes that are showing up all over this area, all the way down to the coast, seeing that algorithm, at least showing that it's below freezing. We can believe that at least. And up over our area, again, one wave exiting, another heavier one that is coming together. So I've had mostly freezing rain and some sleet mixing in as the heavier stuff came through in my house. But I've seen a ton of reports of sleet and really some pretty impressive trampolines and other things that collect all that stuff. So I know the bridges are really nasty out there. I'm going to look at comments here in a second, but yeah, we are in the midst of it all now. This is what's happening, and see, it just decides to switch over to that. I wish I could just turn it off. I'm sure I can, but I'm not gonna. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's see what we've got. In the comments, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, can I drive here? Can I drive there from like now until tomorrow morning? I don't think you can. I don't think you should. And yes, I still see a lot of cars out there. I mean, I didn't think they'd just stop driving because I said that. But yeah, so Boyce Bridge closed, sleeting and raining in McNary. A lot of sleet. Yes, Kristen, you get me. Let's see. Yeah, we don't want to, I talked to some of these first responders and they're great. They're awesome. We don't want to make them work today. Like, we don't want to make them do stuff that they shouldn't have to, it's time to get in at home. And I know there are people who have to get to these jobs. There are people that are absolutely necessary. If you're necessary, you're going to be, doing your best, I'm sure, to be as safe as you can as you get to your job. And hey, those people out there, they could very well be doing that. It's just time to get home if possible. And if you need to get there, of course, yes, you need to do that. Let's see. Wintry mix, light freezing rain, sleet. All state offices closed tomorrow. Nothing in Avoyelles. Northern Avoyelles is getting some, but Southern Avoyelles has not yet. It's going to happen here a little bit later. I would say sleet is preferred to freezing rain, but with regard to the power, it is. But the problem is with the bridges and stuff. When you get that sleet and freezing rain to fall, it's gonna kind of freeze together, and it's gonna cause some issues. Jackson Street Bridge is closed. These are comments, so I can't verify them, but typically people give me pretty good information in these. Upper St. Landry, nothing yet. Yeah, it's coming. Let's see, Highway 71 by Bulow Lake and Pineville backed up with bumper to bumper. Yeah, that's where a friend had texted and said she was actually the last one to get over the bridge, and they were closing it then to hopefully get things reopened, because if they close it down, they can go and do some treating, put some sand, some salt, whatever they have, and get things to where you at least get a lane of traffic flowing. Let's see. Sleeting in Effie, yeah. Drive to work to Lafayette for right now isn't great, not great. If he's leaving out of Alexandria, going down 49, I don't know what the bridges are going to be like. It looks like right now, once you get out of Rapides, it's not quite as bad, but it's just going to get worse here over the next couple hours. And when the sun goes down, I mean, everything's just going to freeze. It's going to get really cold. I mean, we're 24. We're really cold now, but it's just going to turn nastier. LeCount to Cottonport tomorrow morning. It's possible. You're going to want to look ahead just to see if the bridges are open. You just really, really want to take it slow. If things are open, that's the best I can offer, is to go really, really close. Yeah, Jackson Street Bridge closed. I heard it was really slick. Coming down good off Philadelphia, off 28 East. Yeah, a lot of reports here. There's not really a good drive time, I would say, until late morning, early afternoon tomorrow. Once that sun comes out, even if the sun's out and we're 27, 28 degrees, it's going to start melting everything. You'll see that when I would live up north as a kid, I was like, it would snow. We'd get 6 inches of snow, and 2 days later, it's been 23 degrees each day, and half of it's gone. Well, it sublimates. It evaporates from a solid to a gas, or it melts as the sun beats down on it. And it's just the way it just kind of dissipates. And yeah, okay, so Jackson Street Bridge closed per DOT before the website. Yep. I have not seen snow yet. I've seen reports of snow. I have not seen it myself. I'm looking for flakes on that, by the way. So if you go out and you see little ice pellets, that sleet, if you see, if you can get me a picture of a flake with the little cute little snowflakey stuff on it, I want to see it. I need to see the flake, though. because they should land on elevated surfaces and stay there. It's 24 degrees, shouldn't be melting, so get that for me if you can. I'd love that. Yep, sleeting. That's all, you know. Leesville to Opelousas and lightly raining. That is freezing rain. Christopher Smeltzer, go home. I love the comments. Let's see. Sleeting in Flatwoods. How's Thibodaux going to be? Well, you might actually get some freezing rain tonight down that way. It's going to get cold enough, and I know that is rare. Overnight Tuesday night and Wednesday. You should be okay working overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It's going to be really, really, really cold. But I think I'm cautiously optimistic, and we'll know more tomorrow, that we'll be able to dry things out. That's the key. If we can melt it and dry it off before it drops really quickly tomorrow evening, then that's going to keep us pretty safe. But there's always going to be the possibility for a little bit more to refreeze. AEX in the morning. I think the airport's probably. I think I think weather-wise, if you can get to the airport, you're going to be able to take off. Yeah, but radar right now stacked up pretty thick all the way back into Jasper and Newton County, Texas. Watching this area to see if we get more development. Let me pull the national radar up. It's probably not going to be as good because I've gotten the sensitivity up on this one. Yeah, this is just going to show heavier little bursts. And that heavy burst right here, thanks, Lily, for sending me my own money. It's always so great when she does that. I really appreciate it, sweetheart. 20 cents. Thanks, Lily. You're the best. We have that. Yeah, this is the national radar. So it shows that the models have really done actually a good job with this afternoon batch. And the thing they do is they kind of slow it down. And so if we see that, if we see this thing kind of pivot a little bit more back up into this area near Sam Rayburn, then we're going to see several more hours. As it stands, it looks like at least 2 or 3 more hours of precipitation going to fall here. But I'm going to go back over to this and see. I actually have to turn the sensitivity up. There you go. And when we do that, we can see a lot of coverage there going, probably, let's see. We got time. Let me see how far back it is. Let's see. So from Alexandria back here to the back edge of this right now, about 80, 90 miles, moving about 30 miles an hour. So a few more hours, I think we could see more redevelop as we're seeing back up towards Center, Texas, and back towards Sam Rayburn. So it's going to be, we're in that time where we should be home. And it looks a little bit, let me see. We're going to go look at a couple of things here. We are on the fly. So there's your look at lots of cars traveling. See, I wouldn't even do this. I don't like the ice. I like snow. I would drive in 6 inches of snow before this, because once you hit those bridges, like we're saying, some of these are closed now. I'm actually going to pull up the DOT website. I can't use that. No, this will be easier. I'm just going to see what I can see on this. But I did want to take you on a tour of the latest HRRR Future Track. I have not looked at this yet. Boyce Bridge is closed. That's Louisiana Highway 8 in Rapides Parish. And the Jackson Street Bridge. These are both officially closed. Now, the Bulow one, I don't see anything on that. So let's just go ahead and say that that's not official yet. But those two, Boyce and Jackson Street Bridge, are both closed. This is our HRRR model. This is a very reliable, good, high-resolution model. So let's see what we have. This has given us a great general idea of what's going to happen. This is 4 o'clock, so almost an hour away. That's our starting point. And, it's just showing, maybe see, look at that. It pops more up around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So that's what it was showing earlier, that little resurgence on the back end as it's trying to exit. So... And I'm just going back and forth here because I'm looking at all this stuff for the first time myself. You know what? While we're here, might as well do this too. Let's see I'm going to do rain accumulation, so it just kind of takes into account everything. We get numbers on this. It's not going to be a ton, but we don't need a lot as we're seeing right now. So taking us through on this, over 1/10 of an inch now. and that's higher than it was earlier. 0.15 in Faraday, 0.05 Leesville. It's going to be slowing down toward Shreveport and Natchitoches, though still some trace amounts, and perhaps some areas seeing a couple hundredths of an inch. But that's higher than it was earlier, with the main stripe of this going right across Rapides, Southern Vernon, Beauregard Parish, Allen, Evangeline, Northern St. Landry, a lot of Avoyelles, Catahoula, and Concordia, where you actually have been upgraded to a winter storm warning. So, yeah, it's slick out there. We have bridges closing. I know we're going to see more of that. So yeah, if it's possible to get on home, let's do that now. I'm going to take that measurement off of there, put this in motion, and we'll get out of here, because I'll just keep saying the same stuff, and that's not good. All right, yeah, that's still looking the same. Coming right into the Fort Johnson radar site, we have some light to moderate freezing rain and sleet. This extends up through Natchitoches, up through southern Sabine Parish, and then down to the south, we have more of the same going on down along 165 toward Lake Charles. Not a good day to go down to Rapidos and pick up some sausage, and it looks like we're going to see more of this popping out to the west. So slick roads are in place. We are seeing this across most of the area. If you haven't seen anything yet, you will. It looks like we are going to see pretty much 100% coverage the way it's looking right now. And yeah, it's I see your reports and I love them. Thank you, guys. See, yeah, they're driving like it's not slick. There will be accidents, and that's the thing. So, I mean, a lot of people, I say the whole common sense thing and just use your noodle kind of stuff. But, I know kids, if they're going out and they're going to be driving, they may not have ever encountered this before. So I hope your kids are not on the road. I hope you don't have the youngsters out there, getting groceries. But make sure, if for some reason they are and they're talking to you on the phone and you're telling them to get home, that they slow down. And then when they're going over a bridge or an overpass, and this goes for anybody, you want to slow down to almost nothing, because it is going to get ice on it when it's 24 degrees and you have light to moderate precipitation falling. So just be safe. Get home. I still see some cars out there. I'm going to see that all day, I think. Usually after dark, it'll kind of shut down. But yeah, the camera is showing that the precipitation is falling and the people are out there. So yeah, if you are making the decision, you're a boss, you're saying, what do we do? I would say get, non-essential stuff. Hopefully you've already done this. Let people go now, because it's just going to get worse after the sun goes down, because things are going to freeze up more quickly. Your rooftop is white and village green. I'm jealous. I want to see that. Hopefully this next round will give me a little of that. But, hopefully the big hope is that everybody gets home safe. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I will, I think actually Tom's going to do the next live. He was thinking, at 5, 6, something like that. If I have to jump on before, I will. But, you get it. I mean, we're in the middle of it now. Light freezing rain, a little sleet. Maybe a little snow. I don't think so, but I want pictures of snow crystals. I don't. If it's just a little freezing balls of ice, that's sleet. But if you have crystals, actual snow crystals, please do get a close-up photo, because I really do want to see that, and I'd believe you then.